Hello and welcome everybody. It's Rose Smith here from AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com. Thanks so much for joining me today for the gorgeous Gemini September horoscope. It's a very busy month this month coming up, and you also have a thing called a finger of God that is pointed into your third house, which is all about communications, perhaps study, promotions, marketing, that sort of thing. It's a very spiritual and creative energy, so you might get some brilliant flashes, really good ideas that are flying across the landscape of your mind. We also have Mercury going retrograde on the 10th until the 3rd of October. And Mercury is your ruler, so do really listen because it's likely to affect you quite strongly. Uranus is going retrograde. It's in your 12th house, so it's one of those transpersonal planets right out the back there, and because of that you might not feel it. These transpersonal planets tend to go retrograde for quite a long period of time, months and months, and it's sort of like in the background. Because it's in your 12th house, you might find that things are coming up from your subconscious that are a bit different or hard to perceive, or things just go quieter. Maybe you're not having as many dreams as you used to have, or something like that. We go through phases with our dreaming, and I've noticed as I've got older I'm actually dreaming less, but I still dream, obviously. And when you have a cat that wakes you up at all hours of the night, then I'm probably more likely to remember them too. It's quite a full-on month. Now, just briefly to explain, I like to draw 2 tarot cards, theme cards for you for the month, and then we'll have a look at your horoscope in depth. And if you are new, please subscribe and hit that notification bell right now. Okay, so let's go to the board, and here we have your horoscope. But before that, we're going to choose these 2 cards and see what comes out for you. Okay, so for the month of September, closing my eyes now. Oh, right. I see the sky of mind, and because this finger of God is pointed here into the 3rd house where Venus is at the moment. So there could be some sort of ideas, but things are flowing smoothly and politely and graciously, and they could even be romantic ideas as well. And so what I just saw in spirit was the sky with lots of clouds and changes around in the sky, so changes in your thinking. And while I was saying this 2 of Pentacles card comes up, which is about your finances. Okay, so it doesn't really say whether it's positive or negative, but I always tend to think it's more positive because of the green and blue. It just basically says that finances are a focus for you. You do have Lilith here in your 2nd house, which could indicate some sort of wound around your personal finances. You also have Pluto here in your 8th house, which is very sort of deep, compelling sort of energy from way down in your subconscious, and it's about shared resources. So particularly maybe to do with real estate, or a partner that you may have had, an ex perhaps, or a partner that you still have the resources that you share, superannuation, real estate, that sort of thing. Okay, so there might be some news about that coming up this month, September. All right, let's have a look at the 2nd card now, and I'll close my eyes now. Now, this is a bit different because it's sort of a dark charcoal grey, and I can see chains. So chains are about limitations and restrictions. And this card comes up. The card's very slippery today. They don't usually fly out like that. It's the King of Pentacles. This is a very astute sort of energy around money, basically saying it's time to take the harvest. So if you're thinking about whether or not you should maybe sell some real estate or sell your home, then maybe get professional advice, because this is saying take some of the harvest and enjoy it. Also, listen to your intuition, because he's wearing the colour aubergine, which is very spiritual. And so this is the crown chakra and the third eye, okay? Almost like the indigo blue of the third eye. So it's important. Go and seek financial advice, but trust your intuition, because the bottom line is it's up to you. And so if you don't know anybody like that, who sort of fits the bill here of being a very astute person with money, then do a meditation, because there'll be somebody in your ancestry that'll have this energy. I'm getting the word merchant. So if you had anybody who had a shop like 100 years ago, 200 years ago in your family tree, find out about them, and you can actually call them in to help you. And they'll be able to give you some advice, some plain old-fashioned advice, which is sometimes the best kind of advice. Okay, but this is again saying that money is a key feature this month. All right, let's make this a bit bigger, because now we're going to look at your horoscope in depth. So we've got that and that. Okay, so the 30th of August to the 2nd of September sees Mars sextiling Jupiter. And this is fabulous for new opportunities, and even, both personal and business or professional. And any sort of initiative or any new thing that you've sort of researched and it looks positive, it's probably going to have a good outcome under this energy. You're likely to have more energy than usual, and it is a great time for sport, or especially team sports, or any sort of exercise. 31st of August to the 3rd of September sees your ruler Mercury conjuncting Mercury, okay, which gives you your mental faculties a sharpness and a clarity, and you can comprehend new ideas or new concepts more easily. So it's a great time for learning, especially if you're thinking of study. You're likely to have a lot of intellectual curiosity. Maybe you want to find out how things work, and you do want to learn about things. It is a great time for plans and strategies as well. 2nd of September to the 6th of September, your ruler Mercury trines Mars, which brings a whole lot of energy into your conversations and your communications. And it's a great time for you to speak up and make a statement about what you really want, because you're sharp and articulate during this time especially. You might have so much energy that you don't even want to sort of stand still. You want to race around and do things, and you could be quite up for challenging intellectual problems, and you'll be thinking about ways that you can solve them. The 3rd of September to the 28th of September sees Venus go into your 4th house here. So this is about home and family. You may want to make your home more pleasing or comfortable, or maybe more beautiful. Maybe you want to do some landscaping or rearrange furniture. And it's a great time to have family and friends over and entertain. There's like a spirit of affection in your home. And you might be having some lovely dinners with friends. 4th of September to the 8th of September, Mars squares the Sun. Now, in this 4 days, just be a little bit careful here, because Mars does have a lot of force, and sometimes that can come out in your tone of voice. So you might not mean it, but it's just that the energy is there and it'll come out, and sometimes people will notice, but you won't realise perhaps that you've come across a little bit too strong. So watch for that. Try to work alone if you can, because it's harder under this influence to cooperate with people, and impatience and irritability might be an issue. So watch for that. Watch for accidents and incidents under this as well. And I get the word burning, burning. Watch that you don't burn anything in the kitchen or burn the house down. Now, I don't know if I'm saying that because I just burnt the noodles that I give the chickens. They have grain, but because it's winter, I give them extra. And I give them noodles. They love them, especially spaghetti, because they think the spaghetti is worms. I break the spaghetti up into little, worm-sized pieces. So I just burnt that. So I do get the word burning, but I don't know if it's for you or not, to be quite honest. Okay, 9th of September, full moon in Pisces in the 10th house up here. So you could be thinking about your career or vocation, or perhaps if you're not working, your long-range goals and your life direction. It's also the house of reputation and public image, and also a parent. Often it's the mother, but not always. Okay, so something could come up about those issues. It's a time when your private life is not so private, so do be careful on social media that you don't share too much. 7th of September until the 11th of September, Mars trines your MC. You can really make your influence felt now, especially regarding your long-range goals or your career. It's a time of independent action. It's also about self-reliance and taking more of a leadership role. You have the green light to move ahead. 11th of September to the 14th of September, the Sun sextiles the Moon. This brings support from close friends, family, and the women in your life. You probably feel like you have more confidence than usual. It's a great time to mend fences and ameliorate problems that you might have. So minimise, fix, resolve issues basically, especially around the home. 13th of September to the 16th of September, your ruler Mercury trines Mars. So this is fabulous for you speaking up about your desires. And it's a great time to attack intellectually challenging problems. So if you're studying, it's a great time for that, or doing assignments as well. If you're working, then any sort of issues in your work, at work, you might be able to solve those more easily than usual. Then we have the 15th until the 18th, your ruler Mercury conjuncts Mercury. Did I mention that before? Yes, I did. And so again, it's the 15th to the 18th. So basically saying how sharp you are. It's like no one can pull the wool over your eyes at the moment. The 16th to the 21st, Mars sextiles Chiron, giving you increased vitality, spirit and inspiration. You're likely to be more positive now. And you can find innovative solutions to most problems. That seems to be a theme, solving problems this month. It's also a great time for healing, and you might be very proactive about healing your mind and spirit and your body even. Okay, 21st of September to the 23rd of October, the Sun is in your 5th house here. And this is a time when, leisure and pleasure, romance, creativity, or perhaps living closer to the world of the child where you want to have fun. So it's a great time for all of those things. You might be more interested in arts and sports and games and other forms of self-expression that, and entertainment generally. 23rd of September to the 10th of October, your ruler Mercury goes into the 4th house. Now bear in mind that Mercury is now retrograde from the 10th of the month, so do watch for misunderstandings, and it's not a great time to sign any contracts because you might have to go back and change something, or something changes and it's beyond your control. But under this influence with Mercury going into your 4th house here, so it's going from the 5th back into the 4th, then you could be thinking of the past. You might even get news of people you used to know and you haven't heard from for a long time. You could be re-establishing connections with people, or maybe old school friends, for example, or exes, or if you want to. And the other thing is that, you could be talking about your personal, private sorts of feelings about different things. And it's a great time to write in a journal now. Do watch for misunderstandings and miscommunications, however. 25th of September, the new moon is in Libra in your 5th house here. So you've got so much activity going on here at home, and also about fun and leisure and entertainment. And with the new moon here, maybe you want to come out of your shell, express your true feelings, and be more affectionate with people, you know, and you're up for a game or some fun. 25th of September to the 28th, Mercury trines Pluto, but again, it's retrograde. There's a great depth to your conversations. You could feel, you know, when you're talking to people, that they're sort of going to confide in you. So, of course, be careful about, you know, somebody tells you a secret or something like that, that you don't mention it to anybody else. Or there could be some misunderstanding around that too. 27th to the 22nd of October, Venus into the 5th house is beautiful. Gives you energy for creating things. It gives you romantic energy. There are loving feelings and you feel like you can express them. You may also enjoy music or art or cultural events, and you're likely to go out with friends more during this time. 28th of September to the 5th of October, your ruler Mercury retrograde opposition Neptune. Okay, so this is not a good time to make decisions or to sign important contracts. Communications could be misunderstood. Some people may even try to deceive you, like misrepresent themselves, and your thinking could be rather fuzzy, confused or vague. I know all about that. That happens to me sometimes. Yeah, the upside of it, though, is that your imagination is likely to be very good. So it is a great time for writing or for expressing yourself in some sort of physical form, you know, through music or dance or maybe sculpture or sewing or whatever creative things you do. And finally, on the 12th of September to the 1st of December, Saturn squares Uranus. Okay, so this one is difficult. And you've got these grand cross here right at the beginning of the month, and that's only for a few hours because the moon is involved, and the moon travels very quickly. But then there's a T-square left after that. So right at the end, you've got this Saturn square Uranus, which is a bit of a wet blanket, and sometimes it feels quite discouraging, and you may not, you know, want to kick on. Here's Saturn up here, and here's Uranus here. And here in Aquarius, in your 9th house, it's about expanding your life and growing your opportunities and broadening your horizons. And here in the 12th house, it is retrograde, so things can go a bit slower, but maybe you don't feel as inspired as you normally would or as motivated as you normally would. And squaring, you get this wet blanket effect. Maybe you feel a little bit blocked or limited. Maybe you feel you need a muse to inspire you with artwork or something like that. The other thing that can come with it is conservative people can try to push their rules and their regulations or their values onto you. So, of course, that's not going to go down too well. It's not a great time to break the law. People will probably get caught under this influence. The things that are normally quite exciting just are not under this influence. So, you know, it's only for a time. It's not forever. So take a deep breath. You could feel a bit stressed. So it's an excellent time for massage, stretching, or, you know, doing some exercises outside. It's a great time to maintain good health habits, and that will help you. So that's probably one of the biggest downers of the month. But you've got a lot of good things happening as well. So I wouldn't be too worried about that, gorgeous Geminis. All right, so money is your focus this month in a big way, though. Okay. So that's your horoscope. I hope it's useful for you. Leave a like or a comment. I would really appreciate that. and have a fabulous month. If you're new, subscribe and be alive and hit that notification bell right now. Okay, thanks again, and bye for now. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website absolutesoulsecrets.com for all things spiritual. Have a lovely day.